Hello, English lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Mhm. Remember, I cannot say welcome to my channel. It is our channel. Get it right? Okay. So today we are going to focus on tips on how to be good at public speaking. Yes. So before we go into the tips, the do's, or whatever that can help you become good at public speaking, please like, comment, and if you've not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Equally, turn on your notification bell in order not to miss out on subsequent lessons or live sessions that we would have. Do we have a deal? Thank you. Okay, so what is public speaking? Ah, most people do not, we cannot really give out a concise definition of what we think public speaking is, but I'll break it down. Public speaking is the act of delivering speeches to a live audience, aiming to inform, educate, or influence them on a particular topic or subject. Yeah, it involves effective communication, confidence, and audience engagement. Your public speaking would not be that good if you do not have these three elements: effective communication, confidence, and audience engagement. Yeah, so public speaking can take place in various forms. In other words, we have different types of public speaking. For example, we have persuasive speaking. Now, when we hear about the word persuasive, what does it mean? Persuasive means to to like beg. Yeah, you're trying to convince people to accept an ideology or to do something which you know is good. You give reasons as to why they are to do what you are talking about. Yeah. So that is what we call persuasive speaking. This another type is educational speaking. Yeah, educational speaking. This is like your focus on educating people. Yeah, it is more like persuasive, but it's a bit different because with persuasive, your aim is to convince people by all means possible in a in a humbling way, in a convincing way. That's the word. But with educational speaking, you mostly give out educational tips and all of those. Again, we equally have ceremonial speaking. Yeah. Typically, it involves honoring or celebrating individuals, events, or achievements. Yeah, such as award acceptance speeches, wedding toasts, and what have you. So, let us dive into the core of this lesson for today. What can we do to be good public speakers, or how can we overcome public speaking fear? Yeah. Okay, so now public speaking is a craft that takes time, it takes dedication, it takes confidence to be able to pull it off correctly and so well. Well, there are some people who have this fear of speaking in public. The fear of speaking in public is known as glossophobia. Yeah, if you're afraid of talking to crowds or in any open environment, that is fear, which is called glossophobia. Okay, so it is a common anxiety that can make speaking in front of an audience feel daunting. Daunting means difficult. Yeah, when you have glossophobia, it means you have anxiety. You cannot stand freely and talk to people without shaking or without trembling. So, I have some tips that can help you avoid trembling or mincing your words when you are talking. Here are some tips. So let's talk about preparation. Preparation is the key. Yeah, for sure. When you are very prepared and you know what you want to say, you will definitely not tremble. Okay. So the first thing or the first tip on preparation is practice, practice, and practice. Remember, on this channel, our slogan is practice makes perfect. So there is no way you would be good at anything if you do not practice well. So the first step is for you to practice. Okay, practice your topic that you want to deliver. All right. The second thing is to know your material. Exactly. When you know your material, you have to familiarize with your material. You have to just jot down some points. Do not write lengthy things. Anyway, it depends on the occasion where you want to present something, but make sure that you know your material so well so that when you have just a glimpse of it on your sheet or on your phone, you'll be able to say the rest without constantly having to look at your phone or whatever it is the material is in. All right. The third one is prepare for questions. Yeah, definitely. Like we said, public speaking for public speaking to be effective, there must be audience engagement. And when we are talking about audience engagement, we also mean the audience asking questions where they need clarification. So when you're preparing your material, equally prepare or envisage the kind of questions that people can ask. And then you also try to envisage the answers that you would give when such questions are asked. Yeah. It is sure that you might not know the minds of people, but I bet you if you know your topic very well, no matter the question, you'll be able to pull through. All right. So, we have said the first one is practice, practice, and practice. The second is know your material. The third is prepare for questions. Okay, let's talk about another aspect apart from preparation. Now, building confidence. How do you build confidence as far as public speaking is concerned? So, you have to focus on your message. Yeah, you have to focus on your message. Okay, instead of worrying about how you're coming across, focus on the message you want to convey. Yeah, this simply means that when you go into a hall and you think or you feel like maybe you might get some distractions, just focus on what you want to give, on the information you want to pass. For a moment, you can even pretend like it's just you standing on the stage. Okay, you pour out your heart, you give in your best, and then you see how it goes. So with that, when you focus on your message, it helps to build your confidence. And you can only focus on your message after preparing well. I hope you get that. Okay, now the second thing is visualize success. This is very important. Now, when you visualize success in your speech, this makes you to be confident. How do you visualize success? Before going to give your presentation, make sure you practice, okay? And then when you practice, you give the questions that you think people might ask, and then you answer. I bet you would already see yourself being successful at what you are going to present. Yeah, so this is what we mean by visualizing success. Visualize that, oh, you have presented and people are clapping. Yeah, visualize that people are cheering at you and not jeering at you. You get? So visualizing success is very paramount in public speaking. Okay, now the third thing is get feedback. Practice with a small group of friends. Yeah, before you go to do your big presentation, standing on a big stage and all that, why not call your friends or your family members, just 2, 3, or 4 of them? You present in front of them and then you let them give you feedback. How was I presenting? How were my gestures? Were my gestures in line with what I'm talking and all of those? I bet you it will help improve on your public speaking. Yeah, so we started with preparation. Next, we've talked about building confidence. Now, let us talk about managing anxiety. Mm. It is but normal for people or for most public speakers to have anxiety. Okay. Even the greatest of public speakers nowadays, I think they pass through that at some point in their career. So your situation is not peculiar to you. But how do you manage anxiety when you find yourself on stage? All right. The first thing is for you to you know, practice deep breathing exercises. Calm your nerves with slow, deliberate breaths. Mhm. I know that I do not know about you, but honestly, this has helped me at times, most times, if I can say that. Yeah, when I want to present or like when I want to talk in a group, because I've not actually presented in a really large crowd, but when I want to talk in an occasion and I feel like my heart is pumping, I just take a moment to myself. I breathe in, I breathe out, I breathe in, I breathe out, and I say in my mind that Felicity, you can do this. Yeah. And when I say that, it goes. So, the first thing, you practice deep breathing exercises. The second one is positive self-talk. I already said that when I feel like maybe I'm not doing so well or I would not do so well, what I have to do is to assure myself that no, I can do this. Others have done it, why not me? Yeah, so you have to give affirmations to yourself. Say you are great, you can do this, you can do that. So always give positive affirmations to yourself. The third one, physical relaxation techniques. Use techniques like progressive muscle relaxation or visualization to calm your body. I know there are some people who even go as far as doing yoga before they go for their public speeches. Yeah, because it helps to refresh your mind, it helps to eliminate any stress, it helps to keep you calm, it helps to keep you inspired. So, yeah, some of these exercises are really good as far as you know handling anxiety is concerned. Okay, the fourth technique in managing anxiety is to join a public speaking group. Yeah, there are groups like Toastmasters that can help. Yeah, you can just Google Toastmasters. I think that's a public speaking group. They can help mend you or mentor you on how to become a good public speaker. Number five, take public speaking lessons or classes or workshops to improve your skills. Yeah, remember when you take classes or you take workshops or lessons, they really help a lot because when you're doing workshops, you interact with other people. Maybe you see people who have succeeded in what you are now struggling with. You equally meet those who are at the same level with you. Then you can also know that you are not alone. So, some of these workshops are very, very rich in helping to curb anxiety. So, yeah, joining a class that will help or a workshop or lessons is an ideal idea. Okay, so remember, it is normal to feel nervous. Many people do. So it is normal for you to feel nervous. But what is important is for you to be able to come back to yourself, to get a hold of yourself and, you know, giving your best. Practice, also remember that practice makes perfect. The more, the more you speak, the better you get. Yeah. Remember, I am sure that if you are someone who is afraid to talk in public, when you do that the first time and it is successful, the second, the third, the fourth, By the time you want to climb on stage the fifth time, I bet you would be better than you climbed the first time. So that is what it means by practice makes perfect. Yeah. Another thing you should remember is that you should focus on your audience instead of focusing on your anxiety. Yeah, focus on engaging and communicating with your audience. Forget about your anxiety. All right. At times, I just even console myself like, oh, I'm not sure who is seated there. You can stand where I am standing and present the way I am presenting. Yeah, that helps because it boosts some confidence in me. So yeah, focus on your audience, focus on engaging with them. You can equally do eye contact for you to be able to get feedback. When you're giving your speech and you see people nodding, yeah, you understand that the message is sinking. When you see people behaving like this, you also get the kind of feedback depending on what you are saying. So yeah, feedback from your audience is very important. Okay, so by following these tips, you can become better and more effective. Yeah, I bet you. So that is it for a lesson on tips on managing or on being a better or a good public speaker. So we've come to the end of the lesson. Thank you for watching up to this level. If you have watched up to this level, could you please leave a comment on which tip you find much more interesting, or how you were able to overcome your public speaking fear? Can you leave a comment on that? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. If there is anything you would like me to handle, please leave that in the comment section. All right. Thank you. Please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on your notification bell. Shalom.